Good evening, South Florida. My name is Stephanie Cates, and I am with my illustrious colleague here, Robert Goltz, Executive Director of the Miramar Pembroke Pines Regional Chamber of Commerce. And tonight is the Chamber's Net Nite.
And we're doing a special edition of the Entrepreneurial Hour. We're bringing in a couple people every couple minutes to give us business tips and fun little things throughout. So we're on live on video also.
Yes, you can actually go to YouTube now and watch us live streaming. So we're really excited. The Entrepreneurial Hour is everywhere. You can't get rid of us.
Absolutely. And
it's like us, Robert. We're everywhere.
And what's even better is that this is seeing us live compared to just our poster where, see, the bad thing is I look so much shorter now sitting in here compared to our poster. Our poster, I look like I'm looming over you.
Yes, you, but he's really not. I'm actually 6 foot tall too. Anyway, folks, we really enjoy that we've got such great followers, and we hope that what we're imparting every week is helping you make those decisions throughout your business. Please don't forget, coming up on October 25th is the Entrepreneurial Hour Conference. It'll be at the Miramar Cultural Center. Robert,
and it's going to be we have a lot of great speakers, great sponsors. It's going to be a great day, and you'll learn a lot and hopefully build your business right from that day forward, and just be able to send it off like a rocket ship. That's what I'm
And we want people who have an idea that want to create it into a concept to grow their business, people who are just starting out in business, you know, those newbies, the toddlers, and even existing people that are kind of stuck. How do I, expand my business? There's, like I've told everybody, there's 3 ways you decide to grow your business. You either multiply your business, you expand it through different products and services, or you end up creating it so that you can sell it. And those are the 3 ways that you can.
Those are the best ways.
And those are the best ways. But how many people don't do that? What are we looking at? 53% of new starts are done?
Are done pretty quickly. And, even working in the chamber industry, I see so many businesses that have great hopes and wishes when they start off in dreams and crash and burn because of so many things that they don't do right. Unfortunately. And that's really what we've been doing for the last 12 to 18 weeks. We've been telling everybody how to definitely look at their business through a different lens.
Get out of that box. I don't know where you found your right, but I have the perfect person to start our segment. We have a coach. Would you introduce yourself, please, Jane?
Sure. I'm Jane Cabrera, and my company is Jane Cabrera Coaching.
Tell us about your coaching, Jane.
Well, I really appreciate what you were just talking about here in terms of new businesses that start out with great dreams and hopes, but then the dreams and hopes can kind of crash and burn. And I think one of the key things that I've seen with some of my clients is we want to convert those dreams and hopes into some really solid plans.
Planning.
Yes, planning. One of the sort of unique things that I bring to my coaching is I'm actually a CPA by background. I worked extensively in the corporate world, and I specialized in corporate change management. So I have a lot of business background. And working with companies, a lot of times I will actually dig into financial plans with the companies that I work with, because that's so important. And I think one of the key things that I see where businesses start out with hopes and dreams, there's quite a bit of financial investment to get things up and going. And I think people don't necessarily connect what it's actually going to take to start generating that revenue. A lot of times I think the revenue generation portion of it takes longer than people think.
And it's poorly developed, I've seen. It's kind of like it's a wish and a prayer, and it's going to sell itself. And I've got lots of friends. You hear all those things. So
Yeah, and so many people invest in their business and not in their marketing to get that business known throughout the community.
Correct.
And that's always a big issue. And Jane, one of the things that I'm going to ask her now while she's here, one of the things that we would like to have is maybe have you on either next week or upcoming week with a couple coaches and talk about some things going on. So you should give me the 2 signs. So
2
I'm guessing
weeks.
in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. Next coming Tuesday, we've got our showdown, but the following week will be, if you can, we'll talk offline.
We'll talk
But
offline.
we would love to
scheduling.
talk to you. And everyone, again, if you have anything that you want to see on the Entrepreneurial Hour, if you'd like to meet someone like Jane and James, or just Robert or me, come to the conference. Come here tonight, the Net Nite at Unilatina International College on Commerce Parkway here in Miramar. And thank you so much for imparting that. And you've got a lot more to share, but we're going to ask you to hold it, okay?
Okay.
So next is James. Let's start with James. James is, just so you know, James is one of these powerhouse guys now in the chamber. Him and his their team over there at Power Financial started coming out.
Wait a minute, we have a banker that's actually going to be on the show. We're going to tie him to that chair for a few weeks.
And so he's he's not really a banker.
You're right.
So he's
credit
mortgage.
union.
No, he's mortgage.
Oh, okay,
So,
but they still have to know about banking, right?
So he's got a leads group that he's working with. With the chamber, started a new leads group. But there's so many great things to say about James and all his teammates, but I'm going to avoid those right now till we get him on the air. And let's get a business tip from him while he's in the audience.
Yes, please introduce yourself and give us some ideas of what people can do to help themselves.
Absolutely. Well, yes, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Robert, for having me. I would definitely say, as far as my history and just my short time even with the chamber, I've learned that it's really about getting out of your comfort zone. And while you want to get out of your comfort zone, you still want to have a plan for what you're doing. If it's for your business, you want to have a plan financially. And it's something where you need to take risks, but they need to be educated risks. So I see people all the time in lending that will have the right idea. They want to buy a house that they want to rent out. They want to buy a commercial property, but they don't know the right way to do it. They're taking a risk, but they haven't asked enough questions or had enough written down where they really had the chance to plan it out and say, this is what is going to work for me. And everything looks good, but without going deep enough and without really taking the time to do all of the numbers, it can sound a lot better than it really is when you're writing.
And everything sounds good when you're watching TV at 2 a.m. and the rich quick guys are on there. Buy my book for $1,200 and I guarantee you'll get 5 houses for free.
Well, it's the easy payments.
It's an easy payment.
99 easy payments.
Yeah, so, well, thank you. I appreciated James. I appreciated Jane. So we're going to kind of go back to Robert. Would you mind talking a little bit about some of the chamber things?
Sure, I'll talk while you run and grab some people.
We're going to grab some more people. Thanks a lot.
Excellent. I can't believe she did this and let me just even talk to you once. We all know I'm the crazy guy on it. So, folks, so many things are going on right now, and this weekend, the chamber trio, the Tri-Chamber organization that I work for with Miramar, Pembroke Pines, the Pembroke Park, West Park Chamber, and Weston, Florida Chamber is doing our leadership in the chamber, leadership in the communities retreat, and I'm looking forward to that. We're going to have actually Jane's going to be on the speaking on some leadership skills 2 times while we're there, and we've got some other great speakers. But the big point that I want to make is that this is, again, one of those great opportunities for the chamber to go and take some next steps. And last time we did this was about 1.5 years ago, and it's been asked for, and we are all set up for this. And it's definitely a different world as we're moving forward. So looks like Stephanie has our next 2 people coming in.
Thank you so much.
And you know, these are great people. Let me tell you a little bit about the people that are coming in to sit down right now. It is Mr. Henry A. Rose from the Falcon Foundation and CV Marketing and the 101 other businesses that he has. And so he's going to come, and also the chairman of the board of directors for the chamber, the Tri-Chambers. And then also one of my other good friends. Oh, I can't say enough about this guy, ladies. This is
ladies,
Mark
what about men?
Liebeskin.
Come on.
I don't think he's interested in men, but Mark Liebeskin with Principal Financials here. He's also on my board of directors. Great guy to hang out with. We're going to have a couple good things to talk about. You brought some good ones in.
Well, you know, I have to tell you, we talked to last 2 people we spoke to, just so that you know, Jane is a coach, and she talked about how people just don't have the slightest idea when they open a business. They kind of set themselves up to fail. And then James almost kind of slapped the icing on top of that little cupcake there when said, yeah, people don't understand when they borrow money to buy a commercial property that they haven't planned it out totally. And guess what? When that little, domino effect happens, everybody loses. What I'd love to ask you to, not only who you are and the association with the chamber and your business, but what has the chamber, in the years that you've been involved as board members, how does the chamber actually support new and existing businesses? And what's in the future for the Miramar Pembroke Pines Chamber as far as business is concerned? Come on.
Mark's going to let me go first, apparently. Hi again. Robert already did a long introduction. I'm chair of the board of directors of the Miramar Pembroke Pines Regional Chamber of Commerce, and I own 4 different small businesses.
Woohoo! Good for you.
I would say for new businesses, I guess the best story I could tell, Robert's probably heard this many times before, is when I first joined the chamber 19 years ago, in 2000, with my nonprofit foundation, the Falcon Foundation, had a different name then. But our goal at that time was to just build awareness of our cause. We had almost incorporated a few months before, and people said to us, the first thing you need to do literally was join the Chamber of Commerce. I joined, and we went from nothing, literally having no money, no anything in this 501c3 foundation, to within a scope of a few years raising $1.4 million. And we built an athletic stadium at Flanagan High School. And it was a lot through the support of the business community. It allowed, back then, the Miami Herald, it allowed me to build all these relationships with these businesses to either sponsor or do pro bono work for us, or support. We had a number of events, a dinner, a golf tournament, that kind of stuff. So literally from nothing to connecting with the business community and the community at large, we went and built probably in Broward County, the first public high school stadium without the full support of the school board. So,
well, congratulations. That's really good. And again, that was, because so tonight is our Net Nite, and I know that about 30, 35 people signed up, and there'll be a few more. But how big is the chamber?
Altogether, the whole conglomerate that we have, we're at right around 750 members right now.
So so this is Stephanie, the kind of the witch with the beast, saying, shame on you guys. Where are you tonight to support Unilatina? Where are you not being on this show to talk about your business?
It's about making those connections in a business organization. We all go networking with our friends, different places and things of that nature. But unless you're focused on business at that time, that's what I really enjoy about our events. When we're having fun getting to know each other on a personal basis, we always do come back and focus on that business aspect. It's not always just one thing or other. We kind of make sure that at every one of our events that we are talking about business in some way, shape, or form.
So Henry, I would assume, just to follow up now on your tip really is you joined the chamber and you worked it.
Yes, I mean, at that point, I was actually, my real for-profit business that I was making a living from at that time was my publishing company, my first business, which had no bearing, quite honestly, on the chamber. It was an international public company. It wasn't local sales. So I knew nothing about the Chamber of Commerce or the local business community. I was just told to join. And literally from that, that's how we built that awareness. There really was no other way in South Broward County to connect with the community.
So nobody, so the magic chamber witch or my grandmama didn't come with her little magic, and within 24 hours you were a success.
No,
you actually had to work it over a period of time, show up, and not be
I showed up at least one event per month, even then. This was long before I was on the board or anything. At least one event, and then contributed.
Now you're at everything. I just get tired seeing. No, that's not true. Actually, he's a wonderful guy, everybody. I don't know why.
Mark can tell you about how my rule about only doing business with chamber.
Yes. No, Mark Liebeskin. I'm with Principal Financial Group. Little background, I've been with the chamber almost 14 years. I've been involved in the board of directors for probably the last 7 years. One thing I could tell people why to join the chamber, because if you do a business plan at the beginning of the year, it should be part of your business. For me, it's around 15 to 20%. I have recommended to people, if they're joining the chamber, get involved. join committees, join referral groups, but show up, because there's going to be a lot of people that do what you do as far as your occupation, but they're not active. And the one thing that I encourage with my referral group is that people can't trust you until they know you. Sit down one-on-one. You don't have to join a referral group to meet new people. When you sit with them, you networking event, you're going to get cards. There's going to be people who's going to take those cards, put them on the desk, and let dust build up on them. My suggestion is either you call up or send them an email and say, hey, great meeting you. What I'd like to do is set a time to sit with you for maybe 15, 20 minutes over a cup of coffee, get to know each other, how we can help each other. Because again, if everything being equal, if two people do the same occupation and I know nothing about the first one, more likely the second person, I know their family, know their history, I'm going to refer them. Mm-hmm. It's a great chamber. One thing I've recognized, I've been in the financial industry for over 27 years. I belong to other chambers, not mentioning their names.
Thank you.
But when I went to those chamber events, first thing is they'll reach out their hand and say, hey, my name is so-and-so, this is what I do for a living. One thing I noticed about this chamber when I first joined 14 years ago is, hi, my name is Mark. What do you do for a living? They make you feel comfortable. But you know what? It all starts at the top.
Well, he wasn't here 14 years ago,
No.
so I'm not sure who that
No.
was. But he's stepped into some good footsteps. And by the way, everybody, all our listeners, congratulations, Robert Goltz.
Thank you very much.
What was the award that he got?
I'll tell him.
Go ahead,
By
Henry,
the
please.
Florida Association of Chamber Professionals, Robert Goltz was just selected as the Chamber Executive of the Year for the entire state of Florida.
Woohoo! Congratulations. Good job.
Thank you.
job.
Thank you very much.
And there's, I had a real estate broker who just was nasty as heck, but he taught me everything in sales that I used to be a school teacher, folks. And he was nasty, and he one time looked at me and goes, speed of the pack, speed of the leader. So there it is. Speed of the leader is speed of the pack. Because if you're not moving ahead, then no one's going with you.
And we all know that is not physically being in the lead of that. Okay? I may drive a little fast, but I'm still behind a little bit. Strictly in the mental aspect. Thank you guys so very much.
I was going to ask you something about, you said when you come in, you meet people and try to become. I find that there's a lot of hunters out there. They're not farmers. They're not cultivators. They come in and the idea is, I want to get there and I want to get 10 to 15 business cards, because if I could sell one, and my odds are like, if I have 15, I'll get one. So that's the only reason why they're there, or their boss says, I won't pay for it unless you show me that you've gotten some leads. And those people become leads. And of course, they don't even know him or her. So that was number one. And then the second part of that is people that show up. I used to love this. Again, that same pain in the butt broker that I worked for. Mm-hmm. On Monday morning, we'd all be at the coffee shop, and he'd come in. He says, "Is she buying a house from you?" No. Are you buying one from her? No. What the hell are you talking to her for? Find somebody you don't know and sell them a house. And I kind of say that about people in these networking events. They show up with someone they know, or they show up with someone from their same company. The boss pays for it. They hang out, they drink, they have fun, they sit with each other, they go home. No business was done. No one, they were ghosts. And then the boss says, chamber doesn't work. Mm-hmm. So those are two experiences. What do you think? Do you see a lot of that as well?
Years ago, I sat with people when they left the chamber and asked you, why'd you leave? You've only been here 6 months. And what they said is, got nothing. I said, you know what? I've known you a couple months. You haven't given anything. The point, again, with this chamber, anything, it's a relationship. You got to build that. You got to build the trust. And I've seen many people in my industry come and go. You know what? When I first started going to the chamber, you got the clicks. And it's the same thing right now. I walk out there, you got the same people, but it never started off as a click. They were the ones that you said that came in there, and at that point in time, it didn't work after it. It doesn't happen overnight. What Henry was saying, I really think this is the best chamber. I know it's the best chamber. I have supported it. I have put my blood, and sweat into the chamber.
Yeah, working with me is not a volunteer aspect. Yeah, there's some carnage out there that you have to go through.
No.
And I've told this story. I moved here from Colorado Springs almost 4 years ago. And when I left there, I actually was member, and they were my customer of 7 different chambers throughout my territory, which was extremely extensive, right up into the Rockies, from Denver all the way to the New Mexico border. So I was involved, and I was involved. Like, they had their Net Nites. I was there. That was the night. I'd spend the night at that town, work the next day. So I knew the value, and I was top rep a couple of times. So I knew the value. Otherwise, I would have never, I didn't live in their town. How are they going to know me unless I went to these events? So I went, and I got here. I went to 4 different chambers, couldn't find the address. Nobody answered the phone. Nobody called me back. Very rude, and said it's like $500-600. I went, oh. And then the other one was you guys. I looked up and I said, okay, this is fairly close. Oh my God, it's 2 towns together. How do you get 2 towns to work in the same chamber together? That in itself was a miracle for me. So I came and gave it a try. And I think the first day I walked in there, I said, I'm going to be part of this chamber. And I have tried to be part of it and work with it. But you have to do your homework. You just don't show up and think that it's going to work for you.
No, it's a contact sport. You have to be there and play. And sometimes you have to play hard. Now, my board members have to play a little bit harder than others. I don't make it easy for people because, you know what, to be successful, it's challenging. And it means you have to do certain things.
You don't appreciate it if it comes easy either.
No, you don't. And
Seriously.
So, yeah, we're going to take another quick break and switch out some more people. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Henry, for coming in.
Look
forward to you guys coming back again another time. Ladies out there, if you're looking for a nice looking man right there, Mark Leibiskin right there. Mark Leibiskin is looking. I'm just telling you, I'm just embarrassing him, having a good time. He's financial. He has a little bit of money, folks. Oh, folks, so many great things. So when I'm talking about it, that it's a contact sport, it is. It's about meeting people. You can't join a chamber or any other organization and just have your name in a directory. You need to be active. And so active doesn't mean that you have to put everything out on the limb. But you know what? Coming out to an event like we're having tonight at the college is a great time just to meet people, socialize. And when we talk about these cliques, these are cliques to keep people out in business. And that's what you have to look at. Yeah, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get into there. But when you get in, finally, you are building your business through conversation. So we got more people coming in right now. Right now at the door, I'm looking at the man. Gosh, so many great things to say about him. But Tony Gordon's coming in, and Olga's here, so we're going to have some conversation with them.
Sit down, take your headphones and put it on your ears. And
so we were talking a little bit about networking and things of that nature. Let's see what we're going to get this time around. I'm kind of excited. This is kind of neat having this.
We
rotation.
Usually have a show every Tuesday from 10:30 to 11:30 on the Unilatina International Radio Show. And we basically have every show based on either finance or, buying property, but it's all business based. Today, we wanted to open it up to all the members of the Pembroke Pines, and Miramar Chamber to be able to introduce themselves and then give the audience a tip about your industry that will help them, in the future. So, Tony, very nice to see you. You've been a longtime member of the chamber, and Olga I've known from several places. And so, who do we let go first? The lady?
Sure.
Olga, you go first. Would you introduce yourself and tell our audience what you do?
Thank you for coming for inviting me. And I'm a senior loan officer, so actually it's working in the AG Mortgage Company. I have been in the mortgage industry for over 15 years, doing residential, commercial loans. And one of the things that right now I recommend to the people to try to purchase a primary home right now, especially as a first-time home buyer, because they have right now an outstanding opportunities to get it, because you can get the house with just for the 3% down. Just that's it.
Just 3% down
Yes. So
for
it's
a new house, Stephanie.
Yeah, a new houses because they don't have all the back. I did real estate for a number of years. She knows that. And so, brand new homes don't come with a lot of the tax base that's already there, and then have to pick up whatever the previous owner owned, and you have to reimburse them. So your closing costs are a little less. But Olga, you have a very unique product. It's starting to take out with us more mature audience.
Yes.
Which is
That's all.
Yes, one of the things. Yeah.
Go ahead and just let people know about it, and then they can always call you if they have interest.
Yes. Actually, we have a group with for the first-time home buyer, or they don't have buy property in the last 3 years. The credit for the counties, the people they're going to buy in Miami-Dade County, West Palm Beach, and Broward County, they can get up to 2,000 credit in your income tax for the life of the loan. So this is it's amazing for the first-time home buyer.
So poor people like me can get a credit. But I was actually talking about your seniors.
Oh,
your reverse mortgage. So just
yes.
I knew what she
something.
was talking about because she's old.
Yeah.
That will cost you, buddy. You okay? I'm gonna one.
Yeah. So that's another benefit.
Right.
That a lot of people for the 62 years or more, they don't have idea what is the benefits that we really have, because we can working to getting in benefits for the equity of the home.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a 62 years old and you have a very low mortgage, or is completely free and clear, instead to continue living a property, pay mortgage or whatever, so you can get you living in your house until you pass away without payment mortgage.
No more mortgage.
No more
during that
mortgage,
time,
or
right.
even if you have an equity, you can receive up to 50%
Mm-hmm.
of your price value.
Mm-hmm.
So
So there's
that's
a lot
very
of
important.
interesting things that wasn't around a couple of years ago. A lot of different things with the mortgage. So if you're in the thralls of looking for a home and you've got a realtor, Olga would be someone who could at least advise you.
Yes.
Now, if you have a car, Tony, can you please introduce yourself, please?
Sure.
Thank
I'm
you.
Tony Gordon, and my shop is located 9880 Pines Boulevard. We're in the Tire Kingdom Plaza. This month we just went 15 years in that location.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's an AMCO franchise, and we do total car care, but we specialize in transmissions. Our warranty is one of the best in the nation because it's covered nationwide by over 700 stores. And whatever we do, regardless of where you are, you have a warranty that is covered. You can just drive into an AMCO store and we'll take care of you there.
So what's if you were to tell a young person that got a used car, let's say your son, he gets a used car, and you say, son, I'm going to give you this tip about how to keep your car safe or at least up to date, so you don't have to buy a new one tomorrow. What tip would you give them?
Okay, because I just did this with my son, not just, I mean, he had a 2005 car he bought new,
Mm-hmm.
and 5 years later he was ready to change it. It's a Maxima, because he thought he was having problems. He lives in Delaware. I had him drive it down here. I rebuilt his transmission. I replaced the whole suspension. I replaced the timing chain, which I know they have problems with. So I brought it back to a like new standard. On his way back home, he called me and he says, Dad, I'm getting 4 miles to the gallon better on my way back than I got coming down. And he just gave that car last month to his daughter, who just got our license.
So can you adopt me? Because I've got a couple of older cars that need to be rebuilt. Oh, wait a minute, you already rebuilt one of them for me.
I gotta tell you, Tony cares about people, and regardless about other people in the room, because I think he saved my wife's life a couple times now. She was driving on bald tires, which was my plan, but Tony kept on going.
Well, she's used to the baldness,
I know,
buddy. You know that.
I know, and Tony convinced her to get new tires, or for me to get new tires and stuff. But I use Tony a lot because we have 2 old cars, and he does a great job every time. But yeah, he's always fun. The staff there is always fun to work with. Just another good set of people in Pembroke Pines in our area and members of the chamber. So
yeah, and what I love about Olga, you can all tell that Olga speaks Spanish and English, and so she actually tries to work a lot with both communities. And I know that Tony has an entire workforce there that's also bilingual, so he can help everyone in our community. So thank you so much, both of you. Do you have any questions for us?
No, I just like to say that you mentioned having older cars, and one of the things we do at AMCO, we focus on preventive maintenance. And what that does is it minimizes breakdowns. And we do free inspections. We offer that to everybody. AAA members get a special discount on labor from us because we're a AAA approved center. And we accept all extended warranties, over 650 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have an extended warranty on your car, you come on in and we work.
And haven't I seen like Miramar, Pembroke Pine Regional Chamber of Commerce discounts coming from your office as well?
Of course you will.
I thought I saw some stuff coming across. So thank you again for taking care of our members. And Olga, thank you so much.
I have I have always my commitment has been to helping couple families individual to achieve their homeownership dreams.
Oh, well, good for you. Well, thank you both so very much.
And
Robert,
Tony's going to be having my car relatively soon again because I got something that's going wrong with it again.
Robert, if you would just put gas, oil,
I
and
don't have
water
a problem
in it,
putting
you
gas
wouldn't.
in it. The water and oil, yeah, I'm
And not only that, but he wants to know why it's always pulling into those bars. He goes by
It
and
has
just
a
pulls.
tendency.
It pulls to the right, but that's because you're going through either a good restaurant or a good bar.
Well, I'm certified to fix every component on his car except the nut behind the wheel.
yeah.
Okay.
Stephanie, on that note, you're going out there and getting us a couple more people? Excellent.
I am.
Thank
Would you
you,
please
guys.
talk about our conference that's coming
Yeah,
up?
let's talk about the conference. We got this great conference
my
coming up
goodness.
October 25th at the Miramar. I just lost it. The Miramar out in Miramar at the Cultural Center. It's going to be great. We've got some great speakers, and again, we want to make sure that we are educating business leaders, and so that's been a big piece of the work that we do. Also, with this, tickets are like $50, but all the money raised goes towards scholarships for students in the city of Miramar. Isn't that great? Stephanie, myself, not getting a dime out of this. College is not taking a dime. We're giving all that money away. And so we got a lot of things going on with that. And now we got the next couple people coming in. And this guy is not new to the show. He was on one of the first shows that we did. Mr. Steve Pressman with Pillbox Pharmacy. We're happy to have him here. Steve, how's it going?
Going great.
See, today, typically if you with Steve, he hates talking on a microphone until he comes into our room. Then he loves the microphone.
Here I am.
So Steve, having a great night tonight. We're doing some networking stuff. What we're asking for is for you to give us your name, your company, and then also a business tip for the people we're recording. We're actually live. They're videotaping also. And so we'll be sharing that in the upcoming weeks. And then also joining us right now is Mr. Jose Alvarado with ADP Printing. And we're happy to have Jose out here. Jose will probably steal the mic away from all of us because he is a grand Toastmaster also. And happy to have both of them here today. So, and Stephanie's on her phone if you saw that on the video. So Steve, we'll start with you.
Oh, it's nice to be back.
Yes, we've been
And
trying to
nice to see
get you, but
everybody.
you're a world traveler.
I'm a world traveler. And I'm Steve Pressman from Pillbox Pharmacy and Medical Supply in Pembroke Pines, Weston, and Davie. As a hobby, what they're alluding to is that I do nature photography. And not only do I do nature photography, the pictures come out great.
Is that like all natural?
All
photographer?
natural animals. Yes.
Oh, animals. Okay. I'm still good with that.
And my tip is and I've said this before on the radio and everywhere, is once you get involved when you know what you want to do in the future, is get involved with the job or whatever it is you want in the future, so you know what you're getting into.
Yeah, his story was great, and if you didn't hear it, you can definitely go onto our website and visit all the shows. But he talked about how he grew up, went to school, made a decision to go into the pharmacy industry, and that it wasn't that he just went in, he learned it from the bottom up, and spent some time, and now owns how many stores, Steve?
4.
4 stores now.
4 at the last count.
Yeah.
But what I love about Steve's story is he owned 4 stores, and he realized he didn't want to work like a dog anymore, and he brought in some partners. So he owns 4 stores, but he actually has people he trusts, and he has partners, which kind of allows you a little bit of the lifestyle you've been able to accomplish.
Absolutely.
Am I
I mean,
overstretching to that?
No, you hit the nail on the head. And not only that, if and when you go into business, if that's what your goal is, and you want a partner, just don't pick a stranger. I mean, every one of my partners are people I knew since childhood, or that worked for me for 10 or 15 years, or I knew for 30 years before I became partners with them.
Wow, excellent. Jose, how are you doing, my friend?
Very good. Thank you for having me here, Robert and Tiffany.
You're welcome.
So tell us a little bit give us your name, your business, and also a business tip for people out there that are listening or watching now.
Well, definitely. But I can barely hear myself here.
Oh, you can?
No.
You can't hear? Oh, I'm sorry.
Try that one.
Here, go ahead. Listen to this one.
I just turned that one up. It was down. Let's see if that works.
Oh, that's really loud now.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
yeah, you can turn that down. Okay, are you okay now? You can hear?
1, 2, 3. Yes, much
Okay.
better. Bien. Well, my name is Jose Alvarado, and I'm with ADP Printing and Signs here in the beautiful city of Miramar, Pembroke Pines area. And I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Robert Goltz, for having me here, and thank you, Tiffany.
Stephanie. That's okay.
You are like Tiffany, though. You are like Tiffany in the aspect of elegance. That's what he was saying. Tiffany jewelry.
Where's the shovel and the boots? Where are they when you need
I
them?
think you meant Tiffany's.
Yes, Tiffany's.
Yes.
Don't have that either. But, hey, I don't care what you call me, just not late for lunch or dinner or breakfast or that wine that's out there waiting for us.
Now, my apology for.
Oh, don't worry
misspelling
about
your
it.
name.
No, please don't worry. I'm fine. So, I think that we've talked about this a few times on the show, that businesses think that I throw up a sign, I put a little T-shirt on, I get a business card, and they're going to come. It's not really that easy, is it? Can you talk to me about what are the basics that someone really needs to do as far as, marketing and the things that they need, like your business does, to get their business started?
Definitely. The perfect word for that is branding. You have to brand yourself. You have to represent your brand. A lot of people, they don't think like that. They think that just because they have a name, that's enough. But no, wearing your name, being proud that you own that company is very, very good, because that's how you spread the name. And people get to ask you, what do you do? Is that your company? Is that what you do for a living? So it's very good. Always carry your name with you. And doing T-shirts, business cards is always good. And never, ever go to a business networking event without a business card, because they all help. Absolutely. I see many times.
30% of them have no cards on them when they show
Yes.
up. Oh, I forgot. Oh, it's in the car.
Use it.
Get it.
Just use it as an extra tool, I always say, because what happens, you can have your business card in your phone, you can have your business card copy in a piece of paper, but it's your image. After all, when they ask you, that's when you have to provide that piece of information. And then people hold you more accountable.
So let me ask you first, Jose, how much has the chamber been in your success, in your business's success? Can you say there has been success because of my being a member of this chamber, or you could say
yes, absolutely. Well, my representative is right here, Robert Goltz. Without Robert Goltz, I don't think I will be active in the Chamber of Commerce. Maybe I will be just a silent member. But Robert, he was the person that probably he saw that Jose Alvarado do not participate in the chamber events. So he took his time and called me. I'm sure that that's the secret to success in an organization, because when you call people and you take the time, people feel special. Oh, they are holding me accountable. They want me to show up. And guess what? I show up, and he was the person that inspired me to keep coming. I was not an early morning person. No, no, no. I didn't want it to do
And now
that.
you're there like 5 a.m. I mean,
Whenever he needs
seriously.
me, whatever the organization needs, I try to make myself available for that. Yes.
Well, congratulations. I know that your name's everywhere. I know that many of our members use your services, so that's great. Steve,
Thank
what
you
about,
very much.
is that me?
No, I think that's the hallway. I think they're.
Oh, no, I'm actually, we're on YouTube Live.
Oh, so you.
And so apparently I was able to finally download it, and I'm live twice.
There you go.
Oh,
You're all
sorry
set.
about that, folks. Steve, what about the chamber? What can you, I mean,
I've always been
I was gonna say.
I've always been a participant in the community.
Yeah.
I was with Rotary Club in Pembroke Pines for 17 years.
Mhm.
Then I took some time off because I have two younger children at home. They're older now. And then I wanted to get back into the community, and I figured the chamber would be the best way to do that. I'm not that active because I'm still busy at work, and I still have a 16 and 20-year-old.
Mhm.
But for me, it was more just to be in touch with the community, not so much to bring new people into the store. They'll come naturally. So it's more like, oh, I own a pharmacy, come see me. It's not like that.
You know, Steve, I think you really are understating what you do. I have to look back over the last 3 years, and I was amazed to hear that you were the owner of 4 pharmacies, but yet at 7 a.m., maybe at 7:10, or before that, you were there speaking to people, meeting fellow members, people that were sharing the same issues you were having in the community. Every month I saw you there. And I was like, wow, this guy, he could be like sending somebody from his company. He doesn't have to get up and do this. This guy's got it made, but you did. And you brought water, and you brought giveaways, and you were there saying, I volunteer for this. Yeah, I'll help out here. You underestimate what your value is in the chamber. I'm sorry. You may not be in every committee, but you inspired me. I'm sure you inspire many people that said, I can be that guy if I just show up. I don't have the water to bring, but I'll show up, you know.
Okay.
You didn't realize that was coming, did you?
No, I didn't. Thank you very much.
But it's
Tiffany.
true,
No.
isn't it? But it's true, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's something that's in me, instilled in me, maybe because of my family values and again, community values. So I like being there. I like going there and just showing up and talking to people.
And again, you talk to obnoxious me. I know you talk to Robert. You talk to this wonderful gentleman. And I see you introducing yourself to new people when you sit at new tables, you meet new people. You know, you're not a good old boy. You actually are out there working it. And I want to congratulate you for that, because I think it makes all the difference that someone that's a long time successful member of the chamber still takes the basics and does them the right way.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We're going to take another break. Who we want to bring in next is Marcella and our producer and her mother, because at 6:30 we always do our announcement out front. And why don't we just do the announcements from in here and introduce those two people, since we've got the screen and everything going live out there.
I think they've also got a video that's going to be out there. So
there's going to be a video?
Yes, on the school, Robert.
On the school, okay.
Let me just add one little.
Oh, yes, please.
Footnote.
Yes, sorry.
In February, Unilatina is going to be having a photography show of my artwork.
Yes,
February
congratulations.
February 9th.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Phenomenal.
So looking forward to that.
So if you haven't seen his pictures, just tell briefly our audience, especially fellow members, what are your photography
Well, it's
passion?
again, it's nature photos from around the world, of mostly animals. I did include people from around the world now, and not so natural structures, certain structures. I've gotten
Excellent,
into. So it'll be quite diverse.
Yeah,
excellent.
he has his photography is very, very good. I've seen it a few times. I enjoyed viewing it and looking at it.
Very good. Well, thank you both for coming again. Thank you, Jose.
Thank you for having us here.
For being also one of the best. You've been an ambassador. You've been a leader in the Leads group. You know, you both are in your own way in what you are able to assimilate with the chamber. You have created that synergy that people look onto you and say, I want to be like him. I want to grow my business like him.
It's my pleasure to help and serve the community as well.
Well,
Yeah, same for me.
thank you so much,
Excellent.
both of you. Well, give me a second. I'll be right back.
And give me a water while you're out there, please,
Oh,
would you?
yes.
Because you start drinking mine.
Yes.
So again, we're here at Unilatina having a great time with our Net at Night. If you get a chance, stop by. If not, come out and definitely check out our website for more information about what's going on, our business tips, and things of that nature. This is a phenomenal college, folks. They have a lot of things going on, helping out a lot of people, and I'm very pleased to be here, as I am every Tuesday, to be on the show for the Entrepreneurial Hour at 10:30 in the morning on Tuesdays. But it has been definitely a good evening, meeting a lot of fun people, getting them in a little bit of a different stance here. So right now we've got Alan Schneider coming in, right over here, Alan. And then Miss Lisa Perez. And I have a lot to tell you about Lisa. We're going to have a good time right now. This is great. I love when we can talk about business and fun.
Okay.
So,
do it.
first of all, this is what we want you to do. We want you to give your name, your business, and a business tip. And then we'll have a little bit of a chat and then switch you out. So, Alan, we'll start with you.
Okay, my name is Alan Schneider. The company is Alan Schneider and Associates. It's a marketing company that helps build businesses for people profitably. And the business tip that I would recommend to people is advertise to maintain and create top-of-mind awareness.
Excellent, excellent. Alan is very active within the chamber. He is a liaison for our Leads groups. He's been a member for how long?
Since '99.
Since '99, and has been very active in helping us grow and helping, actually mentoring individuals within the chamber for a better business result from the chamber. So next we have Lisa, the lovely Lisa, and let her introduce herself and tell you a little bit about her and get her business down.
Sounds great. Lisa Perez, HBL Resources is our full-time, full-service human resources firm located right here in Miramar, Florida. So we have clients throughout the U.S. We offer consulting services, training and development, and HR administration in our offices or in yours.
And you see her on the video, how she moves her head. She is so cute. She's just darling. But Lisa, you've been around for a while, and you know what I want to ask you, because one of the fun things with you is, you know, throughout your membership,
yes,
coming up to your renewal every year, I got that phone call.
Yes, every year.
Every year, it's the phone call of death from Lisa.
That was actually gonna be my tip.
And then we'll go with your tip first, and go into that little story a little bit.
Yeah, my tip is that, you know, right out of the gate in 2011, when we relaunched the firm, we got involved with the chamber, the Miramar Pembroke Pines Regional Chamber, and I think it was one of the best decisions that I've made. It has had its ups and downs. That's why you get the phone calls, because I always want to make sure that there's an ROI, but I also want to make sure I can service my immediate community before I go anywhere else in the United States. And that's a big reason why I maintain my membership, as well as the fact that I like to give back and be available.
And it was literally, folks, every month, the same month, every year, Lisa would call me and say, you know, we need to have a conversation. It's time. I'm up for renewal, and I don't know if this is the place I need to be spending my dollars or not. And it was so funny because it was year after year, and she's been, during that whole time, very active within the chamber, but didn't find what was really going to spark. And then Mark Liebeskin reached out to you and said, hey, be a part of Leads groups. And next thing I know, Lisa's like, hey, no, I don't have to really talk to you. I'm doing great. Yeah, everything's fine. I'm like, dude, if I would have known that, I would have gotten a leads group a long time ago and saved me some hassle.
Yeah, I think it was two things though, because not only getting involved in a different format, but also ensuring that as a firm that deals with a lot of big corporate clients, making sure that I could look, and I think I attribute this to some things that Alan Schneider said to me, is what can I do differently for the small business community? So I really had to wear my own hat as a small business and say, where are the services that I can offer? What is the price point difference between that corporate client and that small business so that they can attain my services? And I think between those two things, I found that niche.
And
I think that's part of any small business mentoring or development is everybody knows the nationals and everybody knows the regional companies and everybody knows those huge companies that run by themselves, right or wrong, good or bad. But when you're talking about our neighborhood and our community, we have what, 690 in Pines Miramar Chamber alone. Think about how many need help that either can't afford it or they have to outsource it or they don't even know about it. And somebody like Lisa comes along and she can help them avoid problems down the road.
And one of our benefits with Lisa's a rock star in her industry. And so they got a video.
That's okay.
Okay, I just want to make sure. But she's does a lot in human resources, has won many awards, coming up with another award I'm hearing out in the world out there that you're being honored again.
Like
and
yourself.
yes, and the benefit is, we've got someone who typically loves to work with large businesses. That is really her market, is the large and larger than medium businesses. And she brings so much to our members, small members and stuff like that. But really, if you're a large business out there and you're looking for somebody in HR, Lisa's the one that's going to help you. Even if you already have an HR person, Lisa can come in there and help you take it to the next step. And always has great materials. And we have a common joke between us. Lisa loves to create things, very good, and I like to copyright what Lisa does. So
I send you things with copyright.
Yeah, so now she locks everything up for me, so I can't change it.
Lisa, I'm going to say that I always tell people that plagiarism is the
highest
form
level.
of
That's why I
flattery,
said I'm all right.
I mean, come on, if you did something that really good and we steal it, it's because it's really good.
I'm having it out.
I don't think I should be wearing the striped hat, really. Come on now. I wanted to say that I think that your work that you do with the leads groups and the mentoring that you've done with all your experience with marketing. We've done several shows about marketing, and we tell these people, you need to understand what you have, what's your marketing budget, what you need to do. We probably need to have this gentleman,
We
Alan,
should definitely have Alan come in.
and talk to them about when you don't have a big budget and you don't know what the heck you're doing, call Alan, because we've had the big people, we've had the big advertising companies, we've had somebody who does a lot, we've had some of the smaller people says, okay, piecemeal it together, and guess what? If you're not a marketing person, you don't know what works and what doesn't, and here you're spending all your money over here and nothing happens, you got nothing, and guess what? Your doors are closing down. Do you see that marketing, because your marketing expertise plays a big role in the success or non-success of a startup business?
Absolutely. If you're not out there building your brand, then what are you doing? Everybody builds brands. That's why you go into business. American Express, the NFL, name the brand. And it's taken a long time to develop and build, but it's consistency and repetition and consistency and repetition in whatever format you do, whether it's print, media, digital, or hand-to-hand, face-to-face. So it's very important to, once you open your doors, make sure that you've saved some kind of a budget for some kind of marketing. And if anybody has a small business that needs help with that, as I tell all my people, I'm always available to talk to people about it.
And you've been a great mentor. I know you've also done that as well.
Yes,
again, we've talked a lot. Robert, they're going to actually want you to go out front. So you may have to actually get off your chair and walk around live. And he didn't want anybody to see. He's got kind of one of his more just
Nice.
suck it in and
Yeah, I know.
just
I
kind of
didn't-
slink around the
I didn't know we were
table.
doing video. and-
Radio's not visual.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
today it is.
Today we went visual.
I listen, I have to tell you, I've been in and out and of here. I went away and then I had some surgery and came back. But I was talking to somebody about, I said, yeah, I was going to do the Entrepreneurial Hour. And they go, I've heard of that. I'm like, crap, we got a brand. People are hearing about us.
I know, and now with video, it scares me.
Yeah, it
Right.
should.
Everything's
I
going.
can't
I
just
can
wear-
wear makeup to
Well,
discuss.
you can wear the makeup, but now I have to get dressed. I just can't come in a Speedo. That was
Well,
the
you
fun
can.
part.
You can, as long as you keep it from the chest up. I mean,
No, we don't even want the chest up.
I didn't even want that vision.
There you go. Good night, Lisa.
Love you, Robert.
Sweet dreams.
So again, both of you have been instrumental in helping the Miramar Pembroke Pines Chamber grow. Can you tell me, there's a lot of chambers out there that try to put their arms like tentacles, octopus around many different communities, and they don't do it successfully. What can you say, do you believe the success of a chamber with two major cities involved, two major, city officials, et cetera, et cetera? How does that integrate well? Is that you?
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. If the kids need you, tell them tough. Make your own dinner.
No, they're all over 21.
Steph, I can tell you that having two big cities gives you that much more resources to draw from. People,
Move in a little bit, so, okay,
Oh.
perfect.
people, money,
Yes,
brain power.
Yep.
Hands. I also belong to another chamber, that's two
What?
cities. There are other chambers. But they're smaller, okay? And the whole focus is smaller.
Okay.
With 690 or 675 members in the South Broward area, that's a big number. And I think that if people weren't realizing successes or finding their way, they wouldn't come back, and there wouldn't be 690 or 675. I mean, it's very important, but we as existing members and veteran members have to make sure we take those people by the hand and show them where to go before they, I don't want to say die on the vine, but
Jump ship.
jump ship.
Jump ship
or
or the wife says, we need a paycheck, find a job.
Yeah.
Your little hobby is no longer.
Right.
and it's very important to keep them engaged,
Right.
because you get new members that, after you see them at the breakfast, you don't see them again.
And that's really sad, and I agree, and I do know that we have a group, we've got ambassadors, we've got people that call them back, they try to get them in, and it's like you can
It's
lead
hard.
the horse to water,
Right.
but you can't make
It's
it
hard.
drink.
And
It's hard.
I think what the chamber does well is acclimation, right? They have the orientation, they have these
That's
stepping
what I was just gonna
stones,
ask
right?
you, give me that.
They have these stepping stones, and it's really up to the business to take advantage of those stepping stones, but they are there. And I think the chamber does a good job of encouraging new members and tenured members to get involved. That's key. It's not like you're going to lose weight by not going to the gym, right? You're not going to grow your business by not attending. I know I tried for a couple of years, didn't work. But you're not going to, see that return on your investment of the chamber if you don't invest some time and effort. I mean, we're here tonight because we want to network. We want to support not only our own businesses, but the chamber as a body as well.
Well, we were at a function last night with one of the referral groups, and we had the Power Partners group, fastest growing group recently. And we had some guests that were invited from outside who they were looking to recruit into the group and into the chamber. And I spent some time with each of them to try to explain to them what their life was going to be like, because it's not just, hey, I joined and
pay a check
here's
and expect all
a
this
sign on my
return.
door.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
Right.
You have to be there to build your brand, because after you're introduced, who are you? What do you represent?
And if you're a brand new business, I mean, how many brand new, I'm sorry, but even Steve Jobs had to, and Bill Gates and Amazon and every other idea out there had to incubate for a while. And so I know that that many chambers are looking at incubators for brand new business ideas. and startups. And again, what is it now? 70% of all American businesses have less than 50 employees, and they're all pretty much, within the last, they're not like forever companies. They've just been within the last 10 years or less.
Right.
So our economy continues to change. And if you do business by getting import parts from China, you're probably shaking. And so my question is, if you're an existing business, what can the chamber help? Because you two are both really knowledgeable about how a business, you've got an existing one, you've worked with many new and existing. Where can someone go with the chamber? What groups, what resources can they reach out to that will help them kind of look at their business and see, I've been concentrating all my eggs in this basket, but if this breaks, I need to do something. Where can you suggest anything with our chamber or overall?
Overall, I would say get really close to your accountant and financial people, obviously, because one of the biggest things that new businesses forget about is cash flow. And if they run out of cash, the demise is not soon after, or soon after, I should say. So you have to be very mindful of that, and you have to be very disciplined in what you do. I don't know how many or what percentage of the people that go into small businesses actually go into it with a plan or with a
what?
Yeah.
Okay. And that was a big eye opener. Oh, Stephanie opened her eye.
What?
But
I know.
you need to be disciplined, and you need to be not to the penny, but you need to know what you can do. And if something new comes along, you can't just go out and do it because you've got a plan. And you got to stick to your plan. You can amend it, you can tweak it, you can do it, however you do it, but you have to do it. We try to do that with the leads groups. We do it with all the referral groups. Quarterly, we review their metrics, their attendance, their membership, who's giving referrals, who's not giving referrals, who's just sitting in the chair for the hour every week. We try to make sure that people are getting something out of it. And you have to do that. And as leaders, our chairs and our leadership people are charged with that responsibility of following up all of the things that have to be done. Otherwise, nothing's gonna happen.
And I think in answer to that question as well, for me, it's about getting involved enough with the chamber to conduct one-on-ones, whether you're in a leads group or not. I definitely believe in the leads group process, but learn who's there, pick the brains, right? You have to get to know the other business community.
But I have all these appointments. I'm too busy. If I'm taking people out to coffee, my wife's going to be furious. My husband's going to tell me. But that's the value.
There's a huge value. I can't tell you how many little nuggets I've received from a simple cup of coffee with a CPA or a merchant service provider or an XYZ that support my business but give me a different perspective than who I might be using, right? So there's that knowledge base there. There's also all of the educational opportunities that the chamber offers. There's classes, there's courses, there's workshops, there's seminars, there's so many things, even something like this. Who knows how many nuggets have come out of this that have helped an entrepreneur with their business. In partnership with the chamber, there's SCORE. I mean, there's so many organizations. And if you're a new business out there, the city of Miramar, if you're in the city of Miramar, they'll help you with your first year's membership. Come in, try it out, check it out. You'll find you will renew.
So I'd like to just say that taking off my hat as Merchant Processing Solutions, which is my business, and then my wonderful partnership here with my buddy. Yes, welcome back. Thank you for ribbon cutting or inaugurating our Net Nite. I actually am a teacher here at Unilatina International College, and I'm going to give them a plug because it's their Net at Night, and they've got the radio show because they really understand the value on two levels. They're a local college that have an international reach. They reach students all over the world. They've got people from the Middle East, Asia, South America, Central America, Caribbean, and they come on student visas. Some of these countries are devastated, and I know for a fact some of our students were victims of violent crimes, and their family the next day put them on a plane. They came here. on a visa, came to this school, they got them into a student visa. They don't have to go back and face those, people and all that stuff again. Again, not talking about immigration process, basically saying this college can help someone that either wants to come from afar or gets here and still has time left on a visa. They can help them become students here. They teach ESL. They also are teaching Spanish to people who quiere hablar español. And they also, Michigan man over there, or is that Michelin man?
Feeling like Michelin man today.
You're a little white and tidy there. So anyway, bottom line is I use teaching their associate's program and their bachelor's. And I've got guys who were surgeons, dentists, people who came with full degrees that had to flee their country. And now they're here like learning Spanish, English, and then getting some of them are doing, menial jobs or whatever while they're here. But my bottom line is when I sat and I teach a business or marketing class, I'm amazed that this college says, if you want to open a job in this country in 2 to 5 years when you graduate, depending on your program, you're going to need a business plan, a marketing plan, a budget, finances. You need to understand your immigration status. I mean, they have this whole book that they make these students put together to understand their business. I have seen students graduate who have opened bicycle shops. They have done printing, embossed printing, T-shirt printing. Someone who's opened a bakery. This has been a wonderful experience for me to actually see that there's a college out here that will help students. And you don't need to be foreign to come to this school. So if you have a student who doesn't know what he wants to do. So that was my pitch for Unilatina. I think
and the students are great here. They're
they
hardworking.
Are wonderful.
Just great to work with every time I come in here. Very nice to meet and continue to build relationships with. We've got some more people out.
Awesome. Well, great.
Well, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Lisa,
Thank you
we
for
need to
having
have
us.
you on our show. Alan, I'm going to have both of you take one of my cards. Call me. Let's book you guys in the next few weeks.
Sounds
Okay.
great.
Absolutely.
And then we'll give a full hour show to these folks.
Full hour.
Full hour. Alan will need it. Lisa at least need an hour and a half.
Lisa's hating me for things I shouldn't be saying on the radio today. Usually doesn't stop me, but hey, well today.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you guys both. Thank you.
Lisa. Is there people out there waiting? Oh, come on in, folks. So this has been a real pleasure tonight. Robert and I really didn't realize that we were going to be streaming live on YouTube.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. I know. Are we going to be doing this all the time?
I think so. I think she bought this.
I really got to buy better clothes when I show now. It was a night event. I'm like, well, okay, I'm just going to throw on the polo, the tight polo. I didn't know I was going to look like the Michelin man today.
Well, I didn't know either, but I actually kind of wore a nice dress, so I'm thinking I don't look too bad.
Outside.
My family's not disowning me at this moment. So.
I think there was a kid that wanted me to roll on the side.
I honestly apologize, but I don't know either one of you. You must be newer members to our chamber.
Yes, we are.
Woo! Well, Robert, please do the introductions.
I don't know them either. No. These guys are from John Smith's Subs. So one of our newer members over on the West Pembroke Pines area, over at, just off of Sheridan, and they opened up a nice franchise there. Great subs, right in the. I don't even know if that little plaza has a name, but they were.
It's a brand new. Didn't you guys have a ribbon cutting there?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, my husband loved those subs. Yes. Oh, yes. It was really wonderful. Matter of fact, we sat there for like an hour and a half afterwards. Going, I think that was really good.
That's exactly how she probably did. So, but yeah, so they were with John Smith's Subs, relatively new to the chamber. So
okay.
Go ahead, ask whatever you want to ask about.
So what made you decide as a brand new member, you've only got you probably opened the vault, pulled all your money out, bought a franchise, and then went, crap, this better work. But yet you took the money and became a chamber member. Why? What value do you think you saw in that?
Well, one of the reasons that we bought this franchise, we want to be part of the community. We've been living in Pembroke Pines 20-something years. And we had a business supermarket in Miami, and we live in Pembroke Pines. So when we had the opportunity, something new around our neighborhood, our community, I mean, it was just ideal for us. And being members of the chamber, I mean, it's just going to help. being part of that community that we want to do.
Yeah, we did.
Supermarkets are terrible businesses. Weren't you like slaves to that?
A little.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I knew somebody in a small town in Colorado was my customer with merchant
Right.
services, and they said, you're up at 4 when the trucks arrive because somebody's always sick. You're there when covering the meat in the deli
Yeah.
department. You're always
There's many
on.
hours. There's many
And
hours. yes.
exactly. So I'm so glad that you got your lives back together because you
Yeah.
could open this shop at what, 11?
10:30.
10:30, and you can be closed by 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
And
9 or 10 o'clock.
nice, nice. You get to see your kids, or they've already grown up now.
They are.
They are.
We're almost empty nesters.
Oh,
Almost.
now you got each other
Almost.
now. Now you can
Yeah.
actually vacation. Well, wonderful. So you wanted to be part of the community. What value have you found from the chamber becoming
Well,
members?
it's only been like 3 months since we opened. I mean, but we met a lot of people, and a lot of those people are become our friends and customers and business partners, you know, in a sense. So, I mean, that's really important being part of the chamber, you know.
We've joined a meets group on Wednesdays
Mhm.
with James, and he is just incredible.
I heard about that,
Yes.
James.
Yeah, he was the first one on it, right?
Oh,
You gotta keep your eye on him.
Yeah.
He's mitten for your position there, isn't he?
I think Alan's. I think he's gonna go for Alan's.
Oh, Alan's
Yes, he
position,
is.
yes, he's gonna get, yeah, it's stepping stone.
They're stepping stones.
But it is great networking. I mean, we've met so many people. We've got a lot of referral business from them as well. So, and vice versa. You know, it's all about networking. So, very valuable, very important.
Now, you both have an accent. Where are you from, may I ask?
I am originally from Colombia.
Ah, muy bien, muy bien. And you're saying
Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic, and you
Yes.
guys met in South Florida?
Yes.
We met here in Miami.
Nice,
Yes.
nice. Jeez. I have lots of neighbors and friends that like, oh yeah, we, she had to leave Venezuela, came to Colombia. I met her, and I was like, or he had to leave Colombia, came to Venezuela. I was like, This one left Venezuela, went to Peru, and met her. I was like,
Gosh.
oh my goodness.
Always nice to meet somebody outside of your hometown.
Yeah, it's like
They don't know all the things from your past. I was not that lucky.
Yes, everybody down here knows you, or they just post on your website, on your Facebook. You went home, 2 weeks ago because of the passing of your father-in-law, which again, our condolences.
Sorry to hear that.
But as he's there, people are like, hey, I'll meet you at this. I was like, really? Really, Robert?
They all know I like to eat. That's what it is.
The entire town rolled out a carpet, and of course he said, we need subs.
Yeah. Excellent. So, tell us a little bit about your business. We want to make sure we give you a little plug that way,
Right.
and then we just are about to wrap it up. It's almost 7 already.
Oh, wow.
It's going fast. It's almost faster than our normal hour show, it seems.
Yeah, that's because
You guys having
we
fun. That's
we're
why.
not, we have no script.
We have no script today.
We'll
I never
We
use the
just-
script
we
anyway.
just- You don't, I do, and I swear, I make these questions up, and he just said,
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about it. Our business is awesome. We're very, very happy. We've gotten a great response from the community. All of our products are fresh. They're prepped daily. From a top sirloin steak to our chicken or tuna, everything is just amazing. Very fresh. And of course, customer service. That's a big part of it. When you come into our store, you get a warm smile. You get good customer service. We train our employees to go the extra mile for our customers. And like my husband said, we just want to be part of the community, and so far so good. So
that's terrific. So again, one last time, give us your address so that everybody can run down there until 9:30, 10:30 tonight and get us up. Go ahead.
So it's 16606 Sheridan Street at the Sheridan Village,
Mhm.
located right in front of the Charter School High School, Pembroke Charter High School.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Well, both of you, much luck with your
Thank you.
business.
Thank you.
And John Smith Subs, that's kind of like,
Yeah, I've been around in West Palm Beach 25 years.
oh, I see.
Boca.
So it's a local
Yeah.
South
That's a local
Florida.
South Florida
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah.
Ah,
They
so
started
those-
expanding.
So those Jimmy guys and those,
nothing.
somewhat, don't even
Don't even
if
mention
it
that.
isn't a John Smith out of South Florida, you're not being loyal.
Yeah. West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
does.
West Palm Beach,
Yeah.
excellent, excellent. Well, much luck with your new business.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Robert.
guys.
Thank you.
So we need to actually find our producer so that she
Yeah.
can
Thank
sign
you.
us off, or else the two of us are going to be just.
They're gonna Stay on talking all night long.
All night long.
Thank you.
I'll be sleeping at a certain hour.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
folks.
and
Thank you
thanks,
very
guys.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can find Marcella and tell her, our producer, to come on
All right,
in and
I'll
she
let her
can
know.
clear out.
Okay.
And maybe her mom too, to say good hi to everybody.
Marcela, you said, right?
Marcella,
All
yeah,
right.
Hey, this has been really great.
this is fun.
I know.
This is, off the cuff, just throwing people up and
I know when
All right.
Marcella said we're going to be live, we were like, okay, radio live.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, she
yeah.
stuck a
People
camera
love
over
me,
here.
a little
We're like,
nervous, but
there's a camera
No.
here, and we did not expect to have a
how
camera
good looking
here.
am I?
I'm
I'm not looking that bad. The Michelin shirt isn't showing that
No,
much.
it's
though.
not too bad. It just shoulders back a little bit,
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
And it's from the top, so you get that little bit skinnier look when you have the camera down. All the women teach me that. Yeah, every
Is
time
that
I
what
say,
it is?
Every time I take a photo for people, they always go, "You have to take it from up so it makes me look slimmer." I'm like,
You've got 2
"What?"
daughters and a wife, don't you?
Yeah.
I never heard
Like
that,
there's
but every single picture of
Not
my
enough slim out there, my friends.
my nieces, my stepdaughter, of everyone in that millennial age, they're like this.
Oh yeah, they got to do the puckered
The
lip.
whole,
Yeah.
I mean, the face. It's like,
Yeah.
do you think you're going to get rid of all those chins if you just suck it down your throat, or
It's
what?
Not that really.
I didn't think it's very sexy
No.
about myself, but
No, it's,
again, I'm told I'm a little older generation, so maybe I don't appreciate it.
maybe it could be it, but there's just some things that just can't be changed out there.
So let's get back into business for one few more
Yes.
minutes until Marcella comes here. This coming Tuesday from 10:30 to 11:30.
We will be back on the air. Absolutely.
And we actually have, hey, come on in here. Come on, Ange, get in here for a minute.
So let me introduce the person who's at the door right now.
Come on, Ange. Just come over here, stand next to me.
This is
Come on.
Angie Bailey, formerly known as Angie Font.
Mhm.
She works over at the chamber. She works at a lot of places. She has her own business. She is a phenomenal person.
We love
She
Angie.
gives so much to the community through Kiwanis and other things. It is phenomenal. I'm lucky to have her on staff, and actually, I'm lucky to have her as a friend. So many different, because no one wants to be my friend. Anyway.
Hey, high five over there, girlfriend. High five. Okay.
How's everything going out there?
Everything's fine. People are
Okay.
networking, people are talking, people are schmoozing. It's looking
Cool.
good. Everyone's having a good time.
Excellent, excellent. Do you think you could let Marcella and Lydia know that we're wrapping up the show so
Okay.
that they could say goodbye and obviously
Sure.
let everybody know about Unilatina?
Did they already go?
I don't know who they are.
All
Send them in.
Send them in.
I guess we'll stay.
We'll stay for a couple extra.
Yeah, come on in, everybody.
We're
Well,
not together.
It doesn't matter.
Oh.
No.
We don't judge.
They're not together. See, everybody thinks they're special. And
She was
that's
like the first one in
it's
the door
common
tonight.
stuff
Come
now.
on.
Women with women. Yeah, we're gonna want you in a minute though. To
Yeah,
close
in
it
a
up.
minute to wind everything
Okay,
down, okay,
okay.
Marcella?
But
This
yeah.
is, come here. Get in the picture here. This is our one, you gotta be around the back where the ladies are. This is our producer, Marcella, and she and her family actually are the owners here of Unilatina.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for bringing me. Thank you, Stephanie and Robert, for being such great hosts.
I try.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of work.
If
but
the
I work.
FCC ever shuts us down, we weren't that great. All right, thank you.
Okay.
Bye, Angie.
So we're gonna start this thing that, don't be upset if you're, they came in here, they're worried that they're together, they're not together. Enjoy
We don't
life.
judge. We don't
judge
judge.
here. We're all about the
I mean,
love. It's okay,
we don't
folks.
even stop the rumors that Robert and I are an item. We don't do that anymore. We don't
So-
care. Let them speculate.
I know it's late, folks. Stephanie's even playing with me now. So what we want you to do is we want you to introduce yourself, your name, your company, and then we want to get a business tip from you, and then we'll talk a little bit with you before we start wrapping it up for the night. So
Yep.
we'll start over here. Go on.
Okay.
Put your just gonna looking at me right now.
Yeah, so that you can hear really well. Can you hear okay now? Okay, so you should be able to hear as well.
Okay. Yeah.
And then just speak directly into the microphone, okay?
So Tatiana, we'll have you go first.
Okay, my name is Tatiana Palma, and my company's name is Team National.
Team National, what is that?
Well, it's group buying power.
Group buying power, okay.
through my power. The four of us decide to make a purchase anywhere and anything, a service, and we're going to have better leverage, correct?
Okay.
Better negotiation powers.
So it's kind of like a private Costco or a
Exactly.
whole warehouse type of an environment.
Exactly.
Okay.
The only exception is that we don't, the company does not have a warehouse.
Okay.
So you're able to still be able to, as a consumer, you can shop where you shop today. We also have services like supplemental health, dental, eye care, buying a home, buying a car.
Wow, that's pretty diverse.
Yes, it's a Pandora
Surgery?
box. So.
You're done. You're done. You don't need any more.
We have a surgeon on board in our B2B.
Okay. Well, excellent, excellent. And so how long have you been with Team National?
It's coming around 4 years.
Okay. And so may I ask you, can you share a business tip with people that are, either thinking about starting a business or that have a business? What has helped you become successful in your business? So maybe let's try that.
Okay. Well, as I am here, thank you to the Miramar Pembroke Pines Chamber of Commerce. That was one of my first steps into having, getting to know the community, getting to know who my market target, where my market target is, where my target market can be, getting to know the business owners. But at the same time, it's not just about, being a part of an organization, but you want to really value what each and every person does in their business. So I would say, in conversation, keep in mind that this person is a business owner just like you, or what their background is, and just adding some value to what they do, or what their intentions are. We have one-on-ones to get to know people, and we have to, I guess, have sharp listening skills.
Yeah, the 2 ears, 1 mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I've been told that all my life.
Yeah.
But one of the things
The size differential that you have, that's the problem.
I have to tell you that, I remember very distinctly, being told that, loose lips sink deals. So the more people have to know you, like you, trust you before they'll ever give you any real knowledge and information to do anything. And do you find that still holds true today?
Yes, yes. People want to know that you genuinely care about them and their services too. That you will value their friendship, you will value what they do, you respect what they do, and you'll get that back from them.
Thank you so much, Tatiana.
Go ahead, try it.
Chana.
Yes, Chana.
Los dos idiomas me ayuda, ¿eh? También je parle français un peu.
Yeah, whatever she said. You thought I knew what she said.
I wanted to say
absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. Nothing there at all.
Even in English.
In English, yeah.
Chacha, please go ahead and tell us about yourself and your business.
Awesome. My name is Chana Taylor. My business is Namaskar to You, and we provide private and corporate yoga and meditation services.
Private yoga. I think there's a lot of women and men who should have those private sessions.
You just don't like me in my yoga pants.
Oh, God.
I mean, that's
when you get the size that fits, I'm fine. But those ones you had were terrible. Talk to me about how we're giddy because it's a little late and we didn't get any wine.
And we basically do stress and anxiety from the daily work grind. And a lot of times we are unable to find a balance between home life and work life. So what better way than to have it come to you at work? And this gives the company a chance for giving their employees a bit of benefit. And also the employees are able to be more productive in their work. So.
It's much better and safer than when you go from Chicago and New York to their ways to make life better for yourself. It's a different type of relaxation and sleep.
No, and I'm going to disagree. On my way back from Colorado, I stopped in Texas, and I've got a niece that lives there, and she's a personal trainer, and she just got a job for a oil company down there as a personal trainer in their wellness gym. It is gorgeous. I mean, it is probably the size of any of the gyms that we have here, 2 floors, an upstairs indoor track. And of course, it's 120 blistering degrees outside. So who's going to go outside and jog or what? And all these ladies in their sneakers and their dresses, they're just like, yeah, we're doing 5 miles today. And they've all got their watches on, probably provided by the company. I'm sitting there like, can my little company, can my little company have someone like you do that?
Of course.
I mean, is it cost prohibitive to have stress relief and wellness programs in a small company?
No, of course not.
Because these big companies, that's oil, by the way. That's a big oil company. But if you've got a small company like yours and you guys are stressed out and you said, no, let's get somebody in here to, what would we look at?
So there are different packages.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't want you to be real specific, but just an idea.
There's different price packages for smaller businesses, bigger businesses, private services.
What's the lowest size of a group, a wellness group you could have for a business?
There is no minimum, but I would say maybe 3, 5. It's been like the least, but they do it still. You know, if you want the wellness, you get it anyway. It doesn't matter how many people are there. So it's nice.
You start with one and those.
For me, it's a little bit higher cost because there's some damage that goes with the eyes with my yoga pants, is what you said. So.
Yeah, you'd have to double, triple pay them. Just
I know.
Okay, here it comes with. I'm not teaching that class today. Well, it's funny because today our millennials and our X and Ys are so into health, and they're, all my nieces, all my kids and their spouses and kids, organic. I'm like, stop, just pick up the darn apple, wash it and eat it. Oh no, it's got blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, if you can't pronounce it, it doesn't exist. But I know that, I may be keeling over tomorrow because I ate all those bad things. But, I think that there's a real value today in companies looking at wellness programs for these young people.
And especially with the tension that's going on with people nowadays. It's not like there's a lot of sharing of work anymore. We learned during the recession, we learned how to downsize and continue our businesses, but actually make our employees work a little bit harder in that process. And with everything else that's going on in the world, the stress and everything else that you go to, for me, I'm not a yoga guy overall. To me, the bullet takes care of my problems, but it also puts me someplace else. So I've got to back off.
By the way, he means that.
Yeah,
It doesn't
that's
mean
the
like a
bullet I'm
bullet in a
using.
gun, okay? Yeah, but then he'd drink that whole vitamin. At least the bullet's only
I
this
think
big.
vitamin makes me taste a little bit better with a little shot of Pepsi, like a candy. So
I want to both of you are really in businesses that look at today's business environment, that I want to say it's close to 30 or 40% of our workers in America today don't even leave their home.
Correct. They're all self-employed or
they work
contracted.
for home. And guess what? You wake up, the kids are screaming, laundry, the house is a mess.
That's why I go to the office.
Yes, but you have an office to go to. What about the women who don't? They sit there and they're up to the laundry is saying, the kids have no clothes for tomorrow. There's no food. Oh my gosh, I gave the kid a cookie for lunch. I'm a terrible mother because I didn't have time. Because all they're doing is doing the same consumption of their work environment and trying to juggle it at home. You have no space anymore. I did that for many years. The house I live in now has a loft. My husband and I put our desks in that loft. And when we come downstairs, we have now decided we just turn that loft off. It doesn't exist. The lights go out and it's a dark place up there. And I don't care. I ain't going back up there again.
That's
Yes, I know in the back of my mind. And some days at 4 a.m. it wakes me.
If I didn't have my office, I wouldn't have any place to go ever.
You would not, exactly.
You don't have a man cave?
No, I don't have a man cave. I don't have enough friends to keep me busy. My gosh, I'm at my office at 6 o'clock in the morning to 11 at night, Monday through Thursday. I love my office.
And your family loves the fact you have your
Everybody else
office.
that I know loves that I have an office. Absolutely.
But someone like Robert that does spend all this time as a workaholic, or the woman or the man that's at home that can't find those boundaries, what can your business do? How do you help them, for example, in the buying power, making the fact that, okay, you had 2 hours, you can either go to the store and buy groceries or buy what you need, or you can just do this in the evening, order your stuff, it'll come to the house, and go to the park or go to a wellness program. So you've got so talk to me about how this looks for these young people that are more and more working from home because nobody wants to pay for office space anymore.
Mhm. Well, now we're talking about Generation Z too, which are our middle school kids going up into teenagers.
I almost have one of those as a grandchild.
They do
And-
nothing.
But yeah, we have
Well,
to take them into consideration then?
They don't
No,
want to do they don't want to do the typical everyday stuff. You know, they're finding ways, all these innovation stuff going on so that it makes more productive, but not that physical work. Not those hours grinding. It's about.
Well, remember, again, the second largest problem in America is obesity. So, and children is the fastest growing age group for obesity. So, I again, if you're a family that homeschools, you should be having a wellness program. Would you help a family that maybe homeschools their kids and doesn't have
idea.
Well, I'm just I'm just fishing here as
We're just building business right now.
Thank you.
So,
exactly.
Business ideas
Yeah.
right here.
And hey, you guys have, if you don't have your own
Yeah, but
ideas, we're going to tell you how to do this now.
Kids are very resourceful.
There's like a leads group in the chamber that, instead of once a month, they all come in their yoga pants. Just don't
Well, I know in my case with our members, pretty much, everyone's looking for that lifestyle where they're able to be productive, but not be in an office, 8-10 hours.
They want balance, but then if
Yeah.
you're working from home, it becomes lopsided. I don't care how hard you try.
You know what? I have to say, Tatiana and her team does it very well. I'm on Facebook with them. Every week they're at the beach at one of the little pubs, all swimming, having a good time. And I'm like going, I'm glad you guys are doing that because I would get a sunburn. I'm fine.
Oh, we
but-
prepared tent.
Yeah.
We have a big tent, so
Yeah.
you can come in anytime. We have a big tent, and you can get the sun and you can get the shade.
And what is the main thing that you do with your people here locally? She does the beach stuff. What do you do with your business customers?
For private?
Or whatever. What's the most
Recreation.
popular thing you do with your customers?
It's a bit of both, private and corporate. So
That's
for
fine.
corporate, I would go to the business, depending on how often they want it. And then some like to get the mat out. Others like to do like chair yoga. So we would do everything from the chair. That way you can have some exercises that you can take back to your desk.
Almost got me right there.
I know.
If she would have said that I could actually lay in the bed and not do anything while she did the yoga, I was going to buy the ticket right then.
That's how much
But it
fun.
was the chair, and I had to still get up and sit up straight in the
Yeah,
chair.
you have to sit
So
up.
I had, Stephanie, you saw my eye glitter. It was almost there.
I know she had to.
I know. When
I
I couldn't believe it. I heard that. As soon as I hear that, I'm like, well, it's either going to be profanity or it's going to be an idea. And before it's profanity, I turn around and throw something at them. We are live. So. Well, listen, ladies, thank you so much for giving us the time and continue to do the good work because I want my grandkids to live to be 200. And I guess everything their parents give them that's nutritious and healthy that makes them live longer. And you guys helping them with their general health and the lifestyle that'll help them stay healthy, that would be great. So thank you both.
And I'm
Thank
all into
you.
that holistic to the organic. I'm all about that.
Well, good for you. I'm just turning
Some
to
of
a
those
little bit.
pictures with the drinks, those were not organic drinks, Tatiana.
It's very rare. Very rare.
Yeah, see those soda cans, unless you can find those organic cans that you have of soda, Robin, and we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah,
I
I know.
know.
There's peer pressure. Remember, there's still peer pressure. It's very hard to overcome those.
Exactly. Well, do you have anything else you want to say, or? Well, you know what?
Thank you.
Oh, you're
This was
welcome.
Fun. This was very
Great.
Interesting.
Well, please make sure that you do a B2B to the member, a member discount. Now that our members have heard you live on the show, let them be reminded how they can reach out to you by using the chamber, obviously the different chamber tools that are out there, okay?
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you guys very much. And let's see if we've got our host.
Yeah. In the meantime, would you talk about some of the tools that are available for our members so that they
Sure.
You want me to get more soda?
Okay, folks. This is going on 2 hours now that we've been going on today. So I'm almost back to the normal radio that I used to be. Folks, so many things going on, and you've heard a lot of different people talk about the chamber today and talk about what's going on in business. And again, I cannot stress it enough. You can't go into business alone. You need partners, you need friends, and you need to network. And well, Stephanie and I are having so much fun today talking about networking and giving you more business tips. It is such a great pleasure to be able to provide these tips to you because, again, my hope is that I meet you and that you are at the wealthiest you can be. And I'm not just talking money. Remember, business isn't about money always. It's about a lifestyle. It's about a lifestyle that makes you feel at ease to do what you want to do and take control of your life. And so that's what we really try to promote here at the Chamber is it's not about making money all the time. It's about, hey, you got some friends here. You got people that are going to help you have the lifestyle that you're looking for. And I know that sounds very cliche for some evening TV show or
You're talking about tools in the chamber?
tips like that, but it definitely does make a difference. So, I am getting really excited. I am getting excited.
Now you got the sisters.
I got the sisters. Wow.
Robert.
This is so much fun. So, I have to say, I'm going to start off this way. It's going to get me in trouble probably right off the bat. I have had so much fun over these past couple months doing the show here. And not because I get to have fun on the air, but I see a beautiful family every
Absolutely.
week we come in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking physical beauty while they are all mom, sisters, whoa, gives me trouble, could get me in a lot of trouble. But anyway, they are beautiful from the inside.
They are.
And they care about their students. They care about the people in the community.
Mm-hmm.
They're always looking to do something more.
Mm-hmm.
And that says so much more about the person. And that's why I agree to come out and do this all the time because I've got great people to work with and a great college that is offering something to the community more so.
Right. I can't agree more.
And so when I'm talking about beauty here, I'm talking about full beauty here. It's inside out, the whole
A few of the
deal.
carpets are not beautiful anymore, those darn students, but we can let that go.
So ladies, one of the things that we don't ever get to do on the shows, we don't get to talk about you guys and your business and your college. So we wanted to take a few moments before we close down today to have you on the air to talk a little bit about the college, what's going on here, what kinds of things are you want to do more in the community, and things of that nature, and just tell also, you know what I want to do. I would like to hear the story a little bit because I've heard it and I love it about how this college, this site took form. So I'll let you guys.
Thank you. Well, thank you. And thank you, Robert and Stephanie, for hosting this amazing, wonderful show. As you said, I'm always in the backside doing all the audio stuff. But as this is a community service and we do it because we like to promote business owners and especially the members of the Chamber of Commerce. But the same way, I see also your care for your members. And I think that's why we do this together, because we care for the community, and of course for the we believe in entrepreneurship. I think that's the value that we both have in common. Do you want to start with our story?
Or story, sure. So, I don't remember the year, 2002 probably. Well, 1999, we arrived to this country. We had 6 bags. We stayed in a hotel room for about a month. And my father, the first thing.
By the way, how many people in your family?
This is my mom, my dad, and my 3 sisters.
So there were 6 of you and
us,
6
yeah.
bags.
Yes, 6 of us and 6 bags, exactly. So we stayed in a hotel room for about a month.
And just a parenthesis, when we were coming from Colombia, my mom said, okay, there is 1 bag per person. So what you're packing your life in a bag. And I was like, oh my God, how are we going to do that? That's going to be really hard. And we started like picking, the most precious stuff that we had. So photographies, like the most, whatever was really close to us. We didn't care as much for clothes. So imagine, packing your life in one
bag. Yeah. So anyway, so we stay here in a hotel room for over a month. I remember my father thinking about what school are they going to enroll in, because it's very important for them to finish their degree. We needed to finish our college. So he got in contact with St. Thomas University.
So wait a minute, you didn't come here as children.
No.
You came here as adults with 1 bag.
Yes, as an adult.
You know what? As a man, I am getting more in love again. 1 bag per woman? Holy cow, I've got to sit back a little bit now.
So Liliana, our
Let
younger,
me throw the water over there.
the youngest sister was 15. Lena was 17. I was 18, and Angie was 20.
Wow.
So
can I just ask you? If you say it's not appropriate, that's fine. But what made you leave your country at that time? Was there a political situation?
Yes, 1999. It was very dangerous. We had opportunities where people were following us. Where my father was receiving phone calls at the school there. And one day he said, you know what, we're leaving because I prefer to be poor in another country and have my kids and my family together than to lose one of you. So that was a very tough decision, like to leave.
I hope my father would have made that decision.
Yeah. So we were, as it says, we were in the blacklist of
kidnaps. Yeah.
Okay, because your father was very outspoken in the college down
we
in.
had a
They opened a school. They opened a university in Colombia. Right now, the university is running, and we have about 2,000 students in Colombia.
But that college was rather outspoken against the current, at the time, the current political situation.
No, we just had a school.
No, the situation in Colombia was really dangerous because I guess these armed groups were just kidnapping people who were
had money.
I
thought they had money.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were a target because they thought that we had a lot of money, and because we had this big building and we had 2 campuses, so they thought that we were very rich, and they were
lots of mortgages, right?
They were threatening us, and we had to leave.
Okay,
And we used to live in the countryside, and so for us it became unbearable to live in the city because we would leave. We couldn't live in the countryside anymore because just the way from the capital, just the driving from the capital to our house was very dangerous because it was very dangerous. So we had to leave. It was within like 3 months time that my parents decided to leave. And we came. I still remember the air of freedom here in the MIA airport. Like, okay, now we know that nobody's kidnapping us tonight, and we can sleep.
Wow.
Sleep safely.
I don't live with those kinds of worries. My husband may smother me for my snoring, but take a pillow and put it on top of my face. But I don't think I'm ever, I mean, isn't it, I don't think a lot of
I don't
people
think
think.
anyone wants to kidnap you.
Well, but unfortunately, yeah, and they all know, people who know me know I'm poor as a church mouse. But I was gonna say, this is not a story uncommon from many of the students that are here.
Exactly.
Right
We're
now.
yeah, we represent the refugee story. We as soon as we came, we filed a political asylum petition, and we were granted the asylum, of course, because we had all the evidence that we were
being targeted.
yeah. And we were, and of course, we were accepted. Our case was approved, and like that, many of many of the people who come to the United States as immigrants, they are fleeing from dangerous situations in their countries, and it's a very sad situation, but that's the case. That is a reality, and that's our story. Is the story of many people who may be seated next to you tomorrow.
And so when your dad, before he came or when he got here, did he already decide he was going to open a college here?
No. I remember very vividly him saying, I don't know how to do anything but teach or having a school or I don't know anything else. So we're going to have to open a school. So we met some friends and they taught us like the whole process of opening a school. We got together, like the 4 kids, my father and my mother, with computers to write the first catalog of our school.
Wow.
To fill out all the forms, and we sent out everything. And I think it was the night. No, it wasn't the night. It was we were not sending the proper documents. So they came back, they returned the documents, and they say, okay, you have to fill these documents out. You have about a month. But it was a lot. And it was like Chinese to us because like they were used to other kind of documentation in Colombia for schools, for programs. So one day he said, no, I don't think this is too difficult. Should we do it or not? And I remember all of us again, all right, let's do it. Let's fill out every form. Let's just read it and try to understand it. And do it again, step by step, how they're saying. In 3 months, they were in the Commission for Independent Education in Florida and Tallahassee. Dr. Ferguson granted our first license.
Nice.
1999.
Wow.
That was such an amazing experience to think, oh, wow, we have a school now. But now we have to work on the school.
I want to say
having the license.
I want to say the amazing experience is that how the family came together and did this all together. There was no egos. It's like, well, I mean, realistically speaking, 4 daughters. Gosh, I've got 2 sisters and a brother, and my sister would say, I don't want to be no stupid teacher. I don't want to be a teacher. I don't want to do this. I just want to go to school and be on my own. I'm moving out. Yeah, but you girls here it is, almost 20 years later, and you're still working together. Almost all of you, right?
We all work together.
Oh, you have 2 sisters.
We contribute. Somehow,
I guess. Yeah, it's just, I think it's amazing that you are still able to do that. Now, I know your dad has passed on, which is very sad. I've seen his pictures throughout the school and homage to him. And your lovely mother, Lydia, has just kept his legacy going, as well as you girls. So what can you tell someone who is thinking, who only because I know the school, but let's just assume that I have a niece, nephew, son, daughter who is not able to come into the country. What would be a way that, and we always want to talk about legal documentation because I know you guys only deal in that. And so could you tell someone how they would just quickly go about contacting the school and how what would they would need in order to know?
Our Office of Admissions can help us in this process. It's called a student visa that we will have to request from their country. And the student visa is a really simple visa. They just need their legal documents, a passport. They need to show financial support. And I think that's one of the biggest troubles sometimes because the government doesn't let you come in the country if you don't have financial support for the first year of study.
Wow.
But students are very creative, I think, and they try to get sponsorship from family members, from companies, and somehow we do have students that get their financial support. They go to the embassy and they stamp their visa for 5 years. And they can come in the country. The student visa is very beneficial as well, because when they come to study for an associate degree, right after they graduate, they can get an OPT. Do you know what is an OPT?
I don't know what it stands for, but yes, I have students that are doing their OPT right now.
All right, so that's an optional practical training.
Oh.
That means that the government, just because you were a very good student, gives you the opportunity to get a work permit and a social security, which is priceless for students here. It's like when they get their work permit and their social security, they called us almost crying, saying like, "This is, I can work."
That's why they were crying.
So they work for a year. They're able to work for 1 whole year, and during this year, it's their opportunity for them to get a sponsorship for another kind of visa. Let's say they didn't get the sponsorship, because it happens. They can come back to us and do a bachelor's degree. And once they graduate from their bachelor's degree, they get another OPT.
So they have 2 years that they can work in what amounts pretty much to a 6-year program.
Yes, exactly.
Or not 6 years,
It's a
actually.
4-year program.
4-year program, right.
But they can work 2 years. So it ends up being
a
6 years.
6-year program. And by the time that's done, I was telling someone before that I'm very proud of the school, especially you and Angelica, because you run the academic portion of the school, and you require all of our students that are in the associates and the bachelor program to actually create business plans, marketing plans, financial plans. And we were talking about how 70% of our businesses starting out there don't even have all of that. What made you decide that that was what you were going to do with your students here?
You know, we believe that everybody's an entrepreneur. So even though if you say, no, you know what, I want to get a job, you're an entrepreneur of your life. You have a family. You have to learn how to manage your family. You have to learn how to manage your own self. So we believe that everybody has entrepreneurship skills. And also, based on experience, we have seen amazing stories. People who have nothing, and then we start talking to them, and we say like, okay, what's your idea? What would you like if you were going to be an entrepreneur? What would you do? And they come up with these amazing ideas, and 5 years later, 3 years later, 10 years later, they come and they're like, listen, this is my dream come true. Remember that we talked about this business plan? Remember that we talked about me opening this restaurant or me opening this real estate company? Look, here we are. It's real. It's real. Everything I put on my paper, because I did the homework that you asked me to do, the homework that Professor Kate asked them to do, it became a reality.
And so one of the nice things about it is when they graduate, they have to defend that, correct?
Yeah.
They defend that just like they would a dissertation. We're talking about a bachelor's degree. It's not a master's, but they still have to defend those documents that they put together. They have to understand it, because this college believes that every person that leaves here, whether they have a work permit or they're going to have the 1-year OPT, might eventually walk up to immigration and say, I've got a business plan. I got some money. I'd like to apply for a work visa on their own. And this way they've actually contributed to the growth of small business in America, as opposed to some of the problems that other areas of this country are finding with undocumenteds coming, into the country and then having nothing. Every single student that graduates from here has the potential to be great. And that's what I love. And many of them go back. We have many Vietnamese students that come here too. And I'd say 50-50 are going to stay. And the rest, I want to go back to my country. I'm going to take what you taught me in marketing and this and that, and I'm going to open a tea shop. And I'm going to make it a bookstore tea shop. And nobody has one there, but I like this. And you're like, wow, someday some kid's going to say, I had a professor that told me this is how to market. And you're like, wow. I'm gonna be in Vietnam one day, So.
And Stephanie, I also like to mention that it's, of course, it's applied education. So students apply every concept taught in the class, they apply it to their business. So it makes sense. And I think that as a student, when a student develops a project that makes sense for them, that it's emotional in that sense, of course they learn, and when they complete their project, it's a complete learning experience.
Right.
So that of course turns into a live project in a transportation company or a tea shop or a coffee shop or something that is real. And then the other aspect of our education is our model of holistic education, which my father wrote. Before passing away, he wrote this model of education, and this is what Unilatina is about, that not only develops the intellectual skills of the students, but also develops the student as a whole. So we teach students yoga classes, holistic human development classes, Tai Chi classes as an effort to truly develop the student, so that when the student graduates, he or she is not only developed or successful in his or her career, but also in their professional life.
And that's part of, I know your mom teaches part of that. I think part of your sister does too.
The yoga.
Yeah, the yoga. So, they've really made this a complete, it's not basket weaving, it's real life. And my father used to say, I'm going to send my kid to college to learn how to basket weave and then to protest. Because we all went to school back in the, early 70s, and that was very prominent back then. But
get another old reference.
yeah. I know. What do you want? This is for our people that need to have, Trivia 101. What did college students do back? They streaked and no, I'm kidding. All right. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
For having us here.
Again, folks, if you know people that are looking to make a difference in their life and change where they're from or something of that nature, this is a great place. And I say that in the aspect that the beauty and the love that you get here is about the person, not just about making money here. There's so many things they do for the community, so many things that they do just to help their students. I love coming in and seeing their students open the doors and just being very nice and polite. And with me, I have a language barrier most of the time when I come in here, but they are all, I've been able to speak here, I've been able to do the show and just stop in. Everyone's always been wonderful here.
So you just mentioned how you are unilanguaged, meaning you.
Is that truly a word? Did you just make that up?
I did, unilanguaged. You only have one language. So in January, this college is going to actually offer Spanish classes to people who would actually like to learn Spanish and actually be able to work with customers.
I want to learn
businesses.
Spanish, not to work with customers, just so I know what people are saying behind my back. Because as soon as you see me, yes, see something, now you're going to get busted.
Well, okay, he can't come, okay? Put him on the do not accept list. But I have a daughter-in-law that's going to be a nurse practitioner in one of the local hospitals, and she said, I really need to speak the language, and she understands it a lot, but it's not proficient. And I will say that my job down here, I got accepted to move here to South Florida because I was proficiently bilingual. And I think that there's a real problem with a lot of people that come down here and think they're going to be successful, and they get here and realize that, you two have been here for 20 years and you still have an accent. You speak perfect English, but there's some people been here 30 years and they have not even half the language skills you do. And I know you help them with English because you also offer ESL. Oh, what is the oldest student you have at the school, please? Isn't it 81?
She's 80.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's a Brazilian.
Irasema. She is 81.
They have a student here, 81 years old, and she comes, she's the most loving lady. She comes a couple of mornings a week, and she learned English. Professor, teacher, I love you. And, she's just a wonderful lady. She has come so far in the 2 years that I have known her. And at that age, so there's never an age limit for learning.
From Brazil. She's from Brazil.
Yeah, and we also have Pablo. Is it Pablo? The older gentleman also.
Jaime, who completed his
graduated. He just graduated his program, and he was in the 70s also.
65, maybe it's almost getting to
So we
70.
have older students here. So if you've got a mom or dad that have really struggled with their language skills
Yeah.
all this, and you're like, Mom, you really need to learn to speak English. Stop watching the novellas. Bring them on here, and we'll show them novellas in English.
There you go. There you go.
No, they can come and they can be, part of a real great community here, learn English. And, life doesn't stop when you get older. It actually, you just find a new direction to head in. So
Definitely.
thank you so much,
Thank
ladies.
you.
Thank
Thank you again
Thank you.
for allowing us to have the opportunity to be here every week to do the radio show and being able to be a part of everything great that you guys are bringing,
Thank
the
you.
beauty that you guys are really giving to our community and to the world.
Yeah.
In essence, with that. So thank you
Ditto.
so very much.
Thank you. Thank you for this great partnership.
So it's almost going on 2 hours, and I'm actually starting to
It's
feeling
actually,
like a Jerry Lewis marathon.
Yeah.
A telethon. This is the longest entrepreneurial hour.
So we're going out of the air now.
Okay,
Oh,
so
excellent.
Thank you, Robert and Stephanie.
You're welcome.
I'll wait till the video goes down so Mr. Michelin doesn't show again.
He didn't even want to stand up and walk out before. He's like, I like Robert. We all love you and know you just the way you are.
I know.
So,
Okay, I
again,
just
thank you.
muted.
Oh,
I
done.
just muted.
Yay.
Oh my God, 2 hours?
2 hours and
2
40
hours.
and 40
2
some
hours.
I feel like I was
and
back
20
on the
minutes.
radio again doing the 5-hour shift.
That was a good job. Good job.
Amazing.
Wow, that's amazing.